Good morning, students. Now we are going to discuss three theorems. First theorem, for every square matrix A of order n, A into adjoint A is equal to adjoint A into A is equal to determinant A into In. Once again, for every square matrix A of order n, A into adjoint A equal to adjoint A into A is equal to determinant A into In. This is our statement. Now we are going to prove the statement. For simplicity, we have to prove the theorem. For simplicity, we take 3 cross 3 matrix, that is n equal to 3 only. Now consider the A matrix, matrix A. The elements are A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33. Okay. Now consider the matrix A11, A12, and etc. Now in 11th standard we found determinant value by R1, R2, R3 or by C1, C2, C3. All the values are equal. We already know it. Okay. Now we are going to find A11 first row. We take first row with a corresponding adjoint, that is A11 into cofactor A11, A12 the corresponding cofactor A12, A13 the corresponding cofactor A13. The sum of these values equal to determinant A. We already know it. Okay. Next, we are taking first row with a second cofactor, that is A12, A13, A23. Okay. Now we are multiplying and adding A11, A21, A12, A22, A13, A23. This value will be equal to 0. Now the same way we take first row, the cofactors are from third row. This is A11, A31, A12, A32, A13, A33. This is also equal to 0. Now we are going to taking second row. Second row elements are A21, A22, A23. We are multiplying the cofactors with R1, that is A21, A11, A22, A12, A23, A13. This value is also equal to 0. And next we are taking second row with the second row cofactors. That is both are same. That is A21, A21, A22, A22, A23, A23. This value will be equal to determinant A. Next, we are taking second row element with cofactors third row element. That is A21, A31, A22, A32, A23, A33. This is also equal to 0. Now we are going to taking third row element, third row. That is third row here. A31, A32, A33. Now we are going to multiplying first row cofactors and with second row cofactors and with third row cofactors. Now the value equal to 0, 0, determinant A. Okay. This is three set of equations we are find it. Now the next we are going to find A into adjoint A. We are going to find what? A into adjoint A. First we write A, next we write adjoint A. Okay. How do we multiply these two matrices? In our 10th standard we already studied. Okay. First row, first column. First row, second column. First row, third column. We are going to multiply this. We get the answer determinant A 0, 0 by using the above equations. This set of equations. Okay. And next we are going to multiplying second row with the first column, second row with the second column, second row with the third column. Now the answer is 0, determinant A 0. Similarly, we are going to multiplying third row with the first column, second column, third column. The answer will be 0, 0, determinant A. Now we are taking the common factor determinant A. The next matrix equal to, we get unit matrix, that is 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. The unit matrix of order 3. Now we write determinant A into I3. In the same way, we are going to multiplying the next term adjoint A into A. First we write adjoint A, next we write determinant A. Now multiplying this row by column, we get the answer, same answer, determinant A 0, 0, 0, determinant A 0, 0, 0, determinant A. We taking the common factor determinant A, we next we get I3, that is unit matrix of order 3. Both equations, you see the both equations both are same. Okay, both equations are same. So I3 is the identity matrix of order 3. By equation 1 and 2, we get A into adjoint A. Adjoint A into A is equal to determinant A into I3. Hence the proof. Okay, next we are going to prove the second theorem. Before proving the second theorem, we study a definition. Definition of inverse matrix of a square matrix. First, we are studying the definition of inverse matrix of a square matrix. Let A be a square matrix of order n if there exists a square matrix. If there exists another square matrix of order same order n such that A into B is equal to B into A is equal to In. That is the same order. Suppose we take 2 cross 2 matrix, so the answer will be equal to I2. Suppose we take 3 cross 3 matrix, the answer will be equal to I3. Then the matrix B is called the inverse of A. Okay, are you understand? Okay, yes, very good. Next, we are going to prove the second theorem. Now, what's our second theorem? If a square matrix has an inverse, if a square matrix has an inverse, then it is unique. Then it is unique. Unique means only one inverse. That is the proof. Now we are going to prove the second theorem. Let A be a square matrix. A be a square matrix such that an inverse A exists. Suppose inverse A exists. If possible, listen, if possible, let there be two inverses B and C. If possible, let there be two inverses. We take two inverses B and C of A. Then by definition, which definition? Here, the definition of inverse matrix of a square matrix. What's our definition? AB, BA is equal to IN. This is our inverse matrix of a square matrix definition. By this definition, suppose B is a inverse matrix of A, then we write AB is equal to BA is equal to IN. Suppose C is a inverse of A, then we write AC is equal to CA is equal to IN. Using these two equations, we get C is equal to. Now listen, we are going to prove both B and C are same. This is our concept. We take two inverses B and C, but we are going to prove C equal to B. This is our proof. Okay. Okay. Now we take C. We take C only. Suppose you take B also. That's your choice. Now I am taking C. C is equal to C into unit matrix In. We multiplying a matrix with the unit matrix. We get the answer same C. Same matrix C. Okay. Now C is equal to C into In. Are you understand? Okay. Now C into In. We substitute these four terms here. We substitute for In. We substitute AB or BA, AC or CA. Your choice. But in left hand side we take C. So we substitute AB or BA. That's your choice. I am substitute AB. C into In for In. I am substituting AB. Now listen. Matrix multiplication is associative. This is already we studied. So associative property, by using the associative property C into AB, we can write CA into B. Are you understand associative property? Here also used C into AB, that is equal to CA into B. Now CA, where is CA? Here. CA is equal to what? IN. So we substitute for CA, that is equal to IN into B. So IN into B, we multiplying a matrix with a unit matrix, we get the same matrix B. Finished. So C is equal to B is proved. Both are same. Hence the uniqueness is follows. Okay. Second theorem. Are you understand? Okay, well, next we are going to prove the third theorem. What is our third theorem? Statement is here, let A be a square matrix of order n, then A inverse exist. Listen, let A be a square matrix of order n, then A inverse exist. If and only if, listen, this is our, you listen here, if and only if A is non-singular. It means we prove two kinds of proof. First, we take A is a square matrix. Next, we prove A is non-singular. And another proof, we take A is non-singular. And next, we prove A be a square matrix. Two types of proof. That is, first one, A be a square matrix. A is non-singular. Direct. And reverse order. First we take A is non-singular and we prove A be a square matrix. Okay. Okay. First we are going to first proof. Suppose A inverse exists. Suppose here A inverse exists, then A inverse is equal to A inverse into A is equal to IN. This is our given. This is our given. Okay. By the product rule for determinants, we get determinant A inverse. We substitute determinant A inverse equal to determinant A into determinant A inverse. Next, determinant A inverse into determinant A. So we get determinant IN. Determinant IN equal to I. So determinant A not equal to 0. Suppose determinant A equal to 0, the answer will be equal to 0. Here answer is I. So the determinant A is not equal to 0. Hence A is non-singular. Okay, are you understand? Once again listen. Determinant, by using the product rule for determinants. Determinant A inverse equal to determinant A inverse. Next determinant A inverse, determinant A. Next determinant IN equal to I. So determinant A is equal to determinant A not equal to 0. The hence A is non-singular. Finished. Next we are going to prove, we taking A is non-singular and we are going to prove A inverse exists. Okay. Our next proof, converse part. Suppose A is, we taking here, listen, A is non-singular. Then determinant A not equal to 0. That is A is singular. Okay. Okay. Next, by theorem 1.1. Now we already studied theorem 1.1. The statement is what? A into adjoint A. Adjoint A into A is equal to determinant A into IN. By divided by determinant A. All the here 3 steps. Okay. Totally we are going to divide it by determinant A. A into adjoint A by determinant A. Adjoint A into A by determinant A. Determinant A into IN by determinant A. Now we cancel the one term. Determinant A cancelled. The remaining part A into adjoint A by determinant A. Adjoint A by determinant A into A is equal to remaining part IN. Now listen, we are going to write, let B is equal to this part, adjoint A by determinant A. Let we take B, okay. Now we substitute A, here A, I write A. This part I am going to write B. So A into B. Now here B into A. So AB is equal to BA is equal to IN. Are you understand? Okay, very good. AB is equal to BA is equal to IN. Hence B is the inverse of A. The inverse of A is exist. It is given by the inverse of A. How do you write inverse of A? Every time you write inverse of A, don't write. So the symbol is inverse of A, that is A inverse equal to 1 by determinant A into adjoint A. This is our formula to solve the problems. Okay, so you memorize it. You compulsory memorize this formula. A inverse is equal to 1 by determinant A into adjoint A. Okay, are you understand the three theorems? Okay, finished. Well, this is next class.